And what bone spurs are is where muscles connect to bones through tendons, and they're just pulling on the bones to move them, right? The muscles that only pull directly in line from their endpoints where the tendons connect them to bones. We can get incorrect tracking in the body. So like if we don't have a neutral wrist, for example, straight out the pinky finger from the outside of the forearm, the muscles that connect to the hand and the wrist and then come up and connect to the elbow to move the body, like move the wrist, okay? If the wrist isn't tracking in line, and so those muscles aren't pulling directly from where they connected the elbow up to the hand or wrist, but the wrist is out of its neutral position, okay, then when the muscles are pulling from the elbow to the wrist or the elbow to the hand, wherever the muscles are connecting in the body, right? This is a good example though. They're pulling on an angle, not in line where the bones connect. The bones are only shaped the way that they are. There is a neutral. So you can see this in videos we've filmed because, well, I'll discuss why, but yeah, where the muscle inserts to the bones, it'll be pulling and it just won't be pulling in line, and so it'll be having a hard time working, and it'll pull on the bone and the bone will grow because it's just having force pulled on it by the muscle in an angle or a position that's not its normal neutral tracking position, the way that the bones will just mesh with each other at the end points. Okay, I show it like this with my knuckles together. The knuckles of the like fingers, right, mesh together. They only will track in line with each other if they're meshing well. You tweak it just a little bit and it just moves so much out of the only way they'll mesh together. This is how bones in the body are. This is bones in my body. You can see it if you're watching this. That's what I'm saying. There's only one way the human body could ever work. So what happens, why I do all this clicky sound in my hand and my wrist and my elbow, wherever I do it in my body, it's mostly the right side. We live in a right-handed world as human beings. And so we've got videos here under the main site of In The Image Clothing Company titled Patterning in the Wrist, Patterning in the Hand, Patterning in the Feet, Patterning around the ear. These are videos I personally filmed about my own body, me, Evan Strong, the founder of In The Image Clothing Company. What I did in many of those videos is I took a measuring tape and I measured, or a ruler if you will. We might have this noise throughout the rest of the video. If we do, we do. Okay, I'm just in a public place here. I took a measurement of the width of my hands compared to the left to the right, the width of my feet compared to the left to the right. You know, and I showed the positioning of things like my jaw, which stabilizes the entire body, has to stay in the center line. Often the jaw gets imbalanced, big time, okay, of human beings. And dogs as well, with collars imbalanced placed on them, for example, leashes imbalanced placed on them, harnesses imbalanced placed on them. In the Image Clothing Company poodles. And Dante has experienced this. Dante's a rescue. He's from the South Utah Valley Animal Shelter. I've actually had to be Dante's personal chiropractor. Literally. Knowing what I know as the founder of In The Image Clothing Company, I've had to break up scar tissue in Dante's body. Yeah, it's just as real as it gets. I'm in this for life. This is the truth. Don't believe it. It's happening. And you can see it personally. You can measure your own hands width. See the difference. Almost certainly if you're right-handed, your right hand's wider than your left. But guess what? There's a center line to the body and there's a center line to gravity. So what we have to do in all the ways we can is reshape the bones.